also be good night, depending on your time zone. Welcome back to another Chillwave ASMR live stream. We've got the Man Cave in the chat. Welcome. You are first to the live. Hope you're having a good day so far. I know, I really do have to put some kind of timer on that. Hopefully the audio is coming through clearly. I've been having some technical issues recently. I actually had to cut a gaming stream short last night because of technical issues. I'm currently troubleshooting those. Thank you for everyone's patience. The Man Cave working night shifts. Perfect timing for your sleep. That is great timing. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you had a good shift. I also work night shifts from time to time, and they can be brutal. If you're like me, I tend to need quite a lot of sleep. I can't go very long without getting caught up on rest and sleep. So I'm also very grateful for ASMR. Finally starting to recover a little bit after the 60 days of ASMR. It's amazing how long it can take to get back to normal after such a big project. How long are the streams typically? They vary in length. I would say my shortest stream was probably last night, cut short due to technical issues. Usually they go at least an hour. And I think my longest stream has been maybe 5 hours, maybe 4 hours, something like that. So they vary. I have budgeted time today for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how it goes. It also depends on if my dogs cooperate. some good sleep. The man cave. It's so key. But not always easy. see which ones land. Welcome, Laszlo. That's right. I do go on live from time to time. Thank you so much, Laszlo. I really appreciate that. It actually means a lot to hear that. The YouTube grind can sometimes be a bit discouraging, so I really appreciate you. The sun hasn't even risen yet, but I can hear the birds out there. I don't know if you can hear that light squawking. Noise control can be such a challenge. I love the sounds that this little sauce container makes. Laszlo, that is a great question. And I would say, if I can help it, I try to avoid getting up this sleep. I seem to need a lot of it. So, sometimes for work, I have to get up quite early. And sometimes if I have a very busy or productive day, I try to get an early crack at it. But this is a tad earlier than my usual. Oh, I'm totally with you on that, Laszlo. I find I can do 1, maybe 2 days with less sleep, but I really pay for it. I think what I'm learning about my biological clock and circadian rhythm is that I typically need like 8 to 10 hours of sleep, which sometimes is just not practical. But sleep is such a regenerative experience. There's nothing quite like getting started on a big project or feeling productive after a really restful sleep. You can hear the world starting its day outside. There's very little that I can do to control the sound of that, but there's something weird and wonderful about it. Imagining all these different people with totally different lives. Out there, doing who knows what. Getting ready in the morning, walking their dogs, feeding their cats, getting ready for work. is a great question. I have to be mindful of environmental noise for sure. It's actually a massive challenge. I have a neighbor who leaves their dog outside all day. And that dog, I mean, it's not the dog's fault. You know? It's just trying to live its life. But it barks a lot. And there are definitely peak hours for traffic. As the summer is coming to an end, there's a little bit less people doing yard work, mowing their lawns, things like that. But these are all definitely things that need to be worked around. And actually, I've had times when I've tried to sit down to record a video and I've had to stop because the noise interruptions are just too much. The challenge being that if there's a lot of banging or motors or things like that, I just know it will pollute the experience for the viewer. So it's definitely something that I have to work around. The man cave, I do play Pokemon games, and actually, I was going to go live last night playing Brilliant Diamond because I've gotten some requests for that game, and I had to cut it short due to technical issues, but I love the Pokemon games, and I believe we have a new Pokemon game dropping this year. So that's going to be really exciting. Roblox players, welcome. Looking back, Pokemon Red is like, I'm pretty sure, one of the first games that I really got into in a big way when I was a kid. This is a soft water bottle for running, and it's made of this interesting vinyl. I like the dense crinkling it makes. said hi as well. Oh, Laszlo. That is a whole other category of noise-related challenges. Air conditioning, refrigerators, furnaces, dehumidifiers. I feel your pain. I have a whole, stepwise approach to preparing my environment for filming. I have to turn off everything. I can't have any kind of appliance running. Even the light over my head makes a low hum. It's off. So I feel you. When I'm away for work, and if I have to film a video, managing the noise in a new space can be really tough. I literally pull out and unplug the refrigerator. There's just no other way. You can't really avoid it. But the last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a video and then hear this mechanical clunk and then the fan or something start up. Some people really a stone. This is a weird and wonderful little thing. Laszlo, I totally am with you on this. And no worries, the videos are there. You can always check them out when you get a chance. But I'm in the same boat when it comes to all the things that I want to do if I had time. There are always so many competing interests, things pulling for our attention. I haven't figured it out. Always the quest to be productive. And time is such a precious thing. But it's so fleeting. It goes by so quickly. I appreciate you, Laszlo. I am really glad to hear you're enjoying the videos. if this makes any kind of interesting sounds. Thanks so much for being here, Laszlo. I appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day. Productive or relaxing, whichever you choose. And I appreciate that. I'll be back. Okay, I think it's time for the eye dropper. You let me know if you enjoyed this sound. Good morning, Cozy. Very early. Hopefully, less technical difficulties today. That was definitely a bummer. But thank you for your patience. It was my first time streaming on the Switch 2, which I think there must be some different settings. I did a bit of research afterwards, and I'm not the only person with this problem. But I'll figure it out. I just want to catch them all. It ain't easy. ASMR nerd herd, what is going on, dude? I love that sound. Oh, Cozy, we are definitely going to be doing Brilliant Diamond. I think over a few streams. Probably try to do the whole game. Nice, ASMR nerd. I hope you have an awesome day today. Alright, let's try something a little different than that. Very fluid sound. I have this beer koozie that I got from the dollar store. It says, "Beauty is in the eyes of the beer holder." And I think wiser words have never been said. Have a good breakfast, ASMR nerd. Appreciate you. Also, I don't know if you're still here, but congratulations on the growth of your channel. I haven't been as present as I'd like to be in your live streams, but I popped in the other day and I was like, whoa, this guy is blasting off. And I'm so stoked for you. as well, ASMR Nerd. I appreciate you. It is 6:53 a.m. and yeah, I think it's going to be a good day. I think we're powerless over some things. Some things we have no control over. I try to remind myself to worry about what I can control and worry less about what I can't control. But what I can control is my perspective, my attitude. And if you go into a day believing that it can and will be a good day, I think at the very least, it's more likely that it will be. The power of positive thinking. And I hope you have an awesome day too. What's going on, Jacob? Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Cozy. I appreciate that. Yes, it doesn't take much to like this stream, but I think it makes a big difference with the powers that be. The YouTube algorithm. Thank you, Cozy. Thanks so much, Jacob. Yeah, that Lego Land Rover came in very handy as a build during the pandemic. Such a fun one. Yeah, Cozy, they do work in very mysterious ways. It's an egg I have yet to crack. Somehow I believe if continuing to be consistent and trying anyways to produce quality content, that maybe the algorithm gods will shine on us. But again, worrying about what I can control versus what I can't control. It's hard not to get discouraged sometimes, though. love tapping. Tapping is like my favorite of the triggers. And sticky tapping is a wonderful sub-category of tapping. Hello, Nico. Hello from Germany. That's awesome. I am in Canada. And thank you so much. That is very kind. Lost audio. What the heck? I'm not even using the same computer as I did on last night's stream, so I can't explain that. I mean, at this point, audio's all I've got, really. So hopefully it holds up. No way, Nico, that's awesome. Yeah, there's lots of good stuff to look at in Canada, that's for sure. Very beautiful place. But LA will be very fun, I'm sure. Really good tacos in LA, among other things. Isaiah, what is going on? Hello from Hawaii. Oh, my favorite underrated Pokemon. This one is a new one for me. Well, if you've been into the channel for a while, you've probably seen the slow progression. But Darumaka. Let's give a massive round for Darumaka. That little red round dude with the big eyebrows. Something about it. Something about it, you guys. Oh, Jacob. Czech Republic is far away. Definitely. Well, Canada looks forward to you visiting, that's for sure. Oh yeah, cozy. There's so much to see. That's understandable though. It's surprisingly not easy to travel around Canada. Cozy knows this, but for those of you who haven't looked at a globe, it's huge. And yeah, the Rocky Mountains are like unbelievable. They're so beautiful. And the ocean, goodness. I have family on the East Coast, and so I get to go out there to visit from time to time. And that's really fun. But the West Coast is so good. Cozy, it's worth a trip, for sure. Right after the 60 days of ASMR series finished, I went out to visit a friend in Canmore, which is like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes outside of Banff. Actually less than that. It's like 10, 15 minutes driving. And it was very nice to be among the mountains, those glacial lakes. Such a fun spot. Ooh, Isaiah, very good question. Well, as you know, at least here in North America, I'm not sure really much about Halloween. Internationally, I'm sure maybe it's not as big of a thing, but around these parts, the fall is spooky season, especially in October, because October 31st is Halloween, and so you better believe I'm going to be doing some spooky content. We gotta do it. I'll try to do some fall-specific themed stuff as well, because Canada kind of transforms into this like beautiful multicolored landscape. It's really quite something. The trees turn from green to, all these other colors. Yellow, red, orange. I'm sure that happens everywhere, but on our longitude, but it's one thing that we always love to share. Nico, no, not really. You might notice a little bit of a different accent than me, but no different dialect. They speak the same English. Yeah, so no issues there. You should be totally fine when you go to LA. Oh, Cozy, that's a good question. Any spooky Salem-type town around Ontario? Oh, that's a really good question. That's a good question. No. But I've always wanted to go to Salem as well, and yeah, I don't think I'll make it this year, but Kingston, Ontario, apparently has a big haunted situation. They do like a haunted tour downtown, and there's an old penitentiary that they say is haunted, and there's a bunch of stuff downtown in Kingston where they talk about hauntings and stuff like that. And legend has it that people even on the tours have seen things that they can't explain. But no, I don't know of a Salem-like town in Ontario. I think it'd be hard to match the lore of Salem. I've always wanted to go. One challenge that we have is we have 2 pugs, and they're pretty needy, and one of them is blind, and so finding pet care is actually really tough. So for both myself and my wife to travel together, it's sometimes very challenging, and we both really want to go to Salem in the fall, and we're having some trouble with that. They don't travel well, so I think it would be really tough. Ooh, a scratch the mic trigger. I can try. I've got this paintbrush here, but this thing, it makes a different kind of sound, but let's try. You let me know what you think of this, and I can stop if it's not enjoyable. Isaiah, that's a good question. Out of the long list of conspiracy theories, unexplained phenomena I've gone over, which do you think needs more investigation? I mean, there's all this talk about like, oh, soon these confidential documents are going to be released. What's going on with this like Roswell cover-up and like graft recovery and all that, you know? Having live alien, come on, tell us what's going on. People say that there's like, they've confirmed that there's like interdimensional beings. Well, go on, tell us about it. There's that whole idea of the Fermi paradox where like the universe is so massive and there are so many galaxies and so many solar systems and so many planets that the odds are that there must be some life form out there. And if there is, and the universe is so old, shouldn't that mean that there would be something out there and that they might have made contact by now? But yet, allegedly, we have had no contact. So you tell me. And on that note, Nico asks, would you describe yourself as a balanced person? That's a really good question. I would say yes. I think there's always an ongoing, I guess, effort to try to improve and be better. And in our lives, we have all these different domains, right? There's like my relationship with my wife, work as a physician, the effort that I put into the ASMR channel, physical fitness and that kind of space, and then other kind of self-care stuff like reading, and I kind of lump all of the personal stuff in there, meditation and video games and stuff. But I do think that I would say that I'm fairly balanced. I've got a lot of interest areas in the spooky and these other things that help entertain me a little bit. It scratches an itch in some way. And I do think that I would say that I'm balanced, but it's not always easy. You go through these seasons in life where sometimes one of those domains overshadows the others, like work or, 60 days of ASMR, where it makes it difficult to find balance, and it kind of erodes at that foundation. And then, there's a period of healing when you pass from that season into the next, and then you can kind of find an equilibrium again. And I think this last few weeks has been that, kind of coming back to an equilibrium, which has been good and healthy, I think. So yeah, I think I'm biased. I mean balanced, but I might be biased. Yeah, pet care is really tough, Cozy. We don't really trust just anyone with our little babies, So we've never left them at a boarding kennel or something like that. We couldn't imagine doing that. Too risky. They just need so much. Cozy, no way. Yo, I think I'm going to Japan in 2026 as well, so that's awesome. That's a massive blessing. I'll be going with a friend, so at least Mrs. Chillwave, aka Soft Chaos ASMR, she'll be able to stay with the dogs. But I think we're going to try to go to Europe together next year as well. And yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. It's not easy. Oh, these are very good questions. Travel for work, yes. I think when I first started, I really enjoyed travel for work, being on the road, and there was kind of this built-in on and off switch. When I'd go to work, I'd be on. When I'd come home, I'd be off, and so I could easily flip between personal life and work life. But I find I crave more routine now, and I crave much driving. It's probably not the safest thing, but also it's just a lot of time spent sitting behind the wheel of a vehicle. So I think, yes, I enjoy it, but I mean, the other beauty of it is that you get to see so much novelty. There's so much new experiences, and you meet so many people, and that piece is really fun. But I kind of oscillate between loving it and not loving it so much. Right now I'm in a not loving it so much phase, just because I crave that consistency. But I feel very grateful for that built-in on-off switch, and for the work that I do, I largely get to choose my own schedule. So I get to decide when I work and when I don't work, which is kind of a blessing and a curse, because it's easy when you're really far out from something to say yes to a lot of things. And then you end up working more than you maybe want to. And then you swing the other way. You say, oh my gosh, that was terrible, so I'm going to work less. And then you don't work enough. So, balance is, I think, it's not a passive process to find balance. I think it takes constant engagement and effort. Cozy, it's very easy to let work take over the balance. Especially, I mean, I'm sure it's like this in a lot of industries and a lot of areas, but in my line of work, the need is so high. Like every day, I'm getting requests, like many requests, to work and fill this void. And it can be tough to navigate that kind of pressure as well. Nico says, currently working on balance. Really interesting to hear from someone who is more experienced in those things. 21. My dude, you have the beauty, the benefit of time, and I wouldn't say that I was always balanced. Certainly at 21, I would not say that I was balanced. At 21, I was in undergrad, and all I did was study. And I was not super stoked. I think it's like I said, balance comes from, I think, constantly directing that lens back on yourself and reflecting honestly. I think therapy is really helpful too. I didn't always do that, but I find it really helpful to talk to someone who is like an impartial third party. It's like having a whiteboard to put stuff on. And meditation has also been really helpful. I use the app Headspace. It's good. And I think the other key thing that I'm constantly working at is understanding my priorities and actually trying to align myself and my time with what my true priorities are. And that can be challenging as well. But you're gonna be okay, my dude. You're gonna be okay. It takes time. It takes effort. Just gotta keep... Oh no. I don't know, Cozy, what's going on with the audio. I'm seeing a clear audio stream here. I'm not seeing it cutting in and out, so I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe someone else can confirm if my audio is cutting in and out. I'd like to know that. All I have is audio here, you guys. I'm sure you don't want to tune in just to watch me talking with no sound. An ASMR channel without audio is cooked. Hopefully someone can let me know if the audio is cutting in and out. Oh, thank you, Isaiah. Maybe it is a YouTube thing. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for confirming that. It must be a YouTube thing because I'm seeing crystal clear and consistent audio being projected into the universe. So That's good. I like this tapping tin can. It sounds a bit like rain on a tin roof. I always say that. I need to get some new triggers, I think. But I just picture like a rainy Sunday morning. You've got nothing planned for the day. You have total freedom with your schedule, and you drift awake. You just slowly open your eyes, and it's overcast. Maybe it's a cool fall day, but you're warm in bed, and you just hear the sound of the rain tapping outside. Oh, what's a medical fact people should know? Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Gosh, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? Well, one thing that comes to mind is that kids love putting stuff in their mouths. They're constantly accidentally ingesting things. And so, parents need to be very cautious with small things around kids. I've had a number of cases of kids eating stuff that is dangerous. So, something like magnets, those little tiny magnets off the back of the fridge, or off the back of those like letter magnets that go on the fridge. If you ingest more than one magnet, they can stick together in your bowel and cause perforations or obstructions and things like that. The other thing is button batteries. Button batteries, button batteries. It's a fun one to say. Those little batteries, those tiny little batteries, sometimes kids eat those, and the positive, negative sends a charge over the moist mucous membrane of the GI tract, and it can cause erosions and basically burn through and cause a perforation. That's an emergency for sure. And then another one is flowers. Many flowers that just grow in typical gardens or in yards have petals or stems or leaves that contain medicinal compounds that can be very harmful to kids. So, for example, there was a kid who ate, and I don't know what these kids are doing, just out there eating stuff out of the garden, but this kid ate a crocus flower, and the crocus contains a medical compound called colchicine, which is very harmful and can cause multi-organ failure. So, yeah, that's the one that came to mind, Isaiah. But you put me on the spot. Careful with kids eating stuff they shouldn't. There's lots of dangerous things out there in the world. Cozy, I would love a rainy Sunday morning with no plans. That's what I think we need to be engineering more rainy Sunday mornings with no plans into our lives. And I think I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to engineer one this Sunday. Well, I can't control the weather, but a Sunday morning with no plans. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm so good at filling my schedule. Welcome, Tati. 7:20 a.m. Yo, we're in the same time zone. Yeah, you know what? You deserve a little bit more sleep. Cozy, the battery thing is absolutely crazy. Oh, Isaiah, I have never heard of the battery magnet combo. That's the wombo combo of doom. That'd be a bad one for sure. time zones are such a wild thing, aren't they? Like, it's tomorrow in New Zealand right now. Isn't that insane? I wonder what the future holds for us. We should ask them. Cozy. I'm with you on that for sure. The overcommitting and then being anxious about the plans is classic. The other thing that I fall into constantly is to-do lists. I seem to love making lists, and then I'm like a slave to this to-do list, and I'm constantly grinding away at it. So like, I'll get started in the morning, and I imagine myself having like X number of hours, and then I'm just like grinding, and then as I get closer to this like looming deadline of getting stuff done, I'm becoming increasingly anxious, and then I hit the timer, and I realize that I've not gotten as much done as I want, because everything takes twice as long as you think it's going to take, and maybe what I need is less lists. Less lists. We need to engineer more downtime into our lives, you guys. Ooh. Favorite set from Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet? Whoa. Ooh. Good question. Favorite Sword and Shield set? I don't want to be obvious and say like Evolving Skies or something like that, because I really haven't opened much of it because it's so expensive. What have I enjoyed opening? I always enjoy the ones that some people don't love as much. Like, I love Sword and Shield base set, and I love Vivid Voltage, and people are not stoked on Vivid Voltage for some reason. Lost Origin is such a great one. Yeah. I always love a good Charizard hunt. So the sets that have Charizards in them have been a really fun one for me. Like, I mean 151 for Scarlet and Violet, for sure. I've really enjoyed Destined Rivals, and I think I'm sick or something because I really loved Prismatic Evolutions. Like, I feel like the hunt and the pain of the hunt is like, I love it. Like, we all want what we can't have, right? And I mean, I'm no exception. It doesn't want to give you any hits. Oh, that's awesome, Cozy. I have had some jobs where I've worked from home, and that's really nice. I'm glad you were able to stop by, catch the stream. And again, I am really sorry about the Brilliant Diamond stream last night. I will fix that problem, and we will catch them all. It's such a fun game. That also, like, threw me off a little bit, like, the technical issues right out of the gate. Not ideal. Astro Chicken, what is going on? Welcome. Love the name. Nico, have an amazing day, dude. Take care of yourself out there in the world. You're gonna be great. Cozy, I'm with you. 151. Oh my goodness. I know. That's the thing, it was so nostalgic. There were like all these Charizards you could hunt down. And it was like, yeah, I mean, it was so accessible before all this chaos and calamity started. And it's great because it's right. It's like maybe 6 months or something after I got back into collecting Pokemon cards, and yeah, so many good memories of 151. It was such a fun one. Whoa, Isaiah. The Last Time Zone. Yo, that's a cool name for like a scary movie or something like that. 1:28 a.m. That's so wild. It's only 7:30 a.m. here. But I wonder if you're at 1:28 a.m. tomorrow or today. That's so trippy. I can't make sense of that. You're either in the future or the past. If you're in the past, I will tell you that things are going okay here in the future. Nothing crazy has happened, as far as I know. I have not looked at the news. So we're okay. Daisy, what is going on? Hello. The UK. That's awesome. Hello from Canada. Oh yes, that's right, Hawaii. Living in the past. That's okay. There's good things coming. I can feel it. Thank you so much, Kim. Appreciate you. 12:30 in the UK. I think you're in the future. Hopefully it's all good things happening in the future. I can hear the world marching on outside. Cars driving by. I just heard a train. It's a big, vibrant world out there. Yeah, gosh. Well, at least, you know, it's kind of nice having a sister in the future because she can warn you if something crazy happens. She can let you know so you can prepare. I'm just kidding, you guys. I do know how time zones work. I don't actually think that your sister's living in the future. I realize that we're all on different set points, moving in parallel. Yeah, Astro Chicken, the East Coast gang. Ooh. Isaiah, you are full of very good questions. Would I rather visit the past or the future? How have I never thought about that? The past or the future? You know what? Maybe this is boring. I don't know. Let's think it out. Going forward is risky because maybe you jump forward and you arrive in some kind of dystopian situation. Some kind of like post-war or post-like environmental catastrophe scenario. Or maybe you jump forward and you see like really cool technology and really neat stuff. Maybe you jump forward and everyone is literally 100% microplastic. Or you can't be outside because of like greenhouse gas emissions. I don't know. It feels risky to jump into the complete unknown. you can go forward and get some information on stock picks or lottery tickets, and then jump back. Risky business. Going back would be kind of cool. Nostalgia is such a powerful thing, and there's so many interesting things in history. Don't go too far back though. Dangerous. The Middle East, knights and plagues, and yikes. I don't know. Gosh, that's a tough one. I can't answer it. I realistically cannot answer it. Yeah, Cozy's saying the past as well. It's really tough. I think the past would be pretty cool. Like the 80s. Seems so cool to me. Like Stranger Things vibes, right? Renaissance Italy. Wow. Edwardian England. Whew. I mean, I think, maybe it was riskier back then than what we think. The belief systems were a little bit different. Diseases and stuff were an issue. There was no, clean drinking water, really. People just didn't wash their hands, ever. And they were throwing their waste and stuff in the streets. I don't know. It could be risky. It'd be cool to go and hang out with Leonardo da Vinci, or do you think he was cool? Do you think he was fun? I don't know how fun he was. I don't ever think about that, but now I will. I will be thinking about that. Also, I feel like violence was a major issue back then. I mean, it is now too, and it probably will be in the future. It seems like that's always an issue, but a fly on the wall. Cozy, did you ever read or watch the movie Timeline by Michael Crichton? It's kind of a time travel thing, but it's not really time travel. They use in this movie, it's these researchers who build this machine that leans on quantum entanglement and the many worlds theory, the multiversal kind of thing, where they can basically, for lack of a better word, fax themselves to another place. They rebuild themselves in another place. So you're broken down here and you're rebuilt there, and they go back into the medieval days, and it doesn't go really well for them. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Michael Crichton fan, then maybe read the book. The movie was but the book was pretty fun. I like the fly on the wall thing, but I don't know. I worry a little bit. We're so insulated here in this time, and in Canada, it's such an insulated place. It doesn't take many moves on the chessboard to be uninsulated and at risk. What's an old medical practice that baffles you as a modern medical professional? Wow. Dude, you have so many great questions. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with, let me see. Let's go with lobotomy, right? Back in the day, they had this map that they would put on the human skull, the human head, and based on that area in the brain, they would say, oh, this is this person's angry because of this, or this person's a gambler because of this, or they're depressed because of this. And so they would literally bust a hole in the skull and swirl around. Which is I mean, it's insane. It's crazy. And it wasn't even that long ago that they were doing stuff like that. That's pretty wild. I will say that. The other one is back in the day, they would use different types differences. They just didn't have the same research capabilities that we do now. Oh, back in the day, they wouldn't even wash their hands before surgery. Right now, the sterile field and like scrubbing for surgery is like such a big deal. There's like layers and layers and layers of trying to keep microbes out. And back in the day, they would just go, no gloves. They would just dive right in. And that is, that's sick. Yeah, Cozy, I get you. I'm curious too. I think I would probably, I think I would probably choose something a little bit more proximal on the timeline. Like, I feel like the 80s or the 90s were so awesome. Like, the 90s was so awesome. I don't know. I was a kid in the 90s. I'm dating myself here. But it's so cool. Oh, there you go, Cozy. That's it. Classics in art history. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think it'd be cool to go and like hang out with like, Scott Fitzgerald and like Ernest Hemingway and those guys and chill with them. That could be pretty fun. They seem a bit intense. Maybe they're a bit party animal, but I think there'd be some really interesting conversations to be had there. I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, it'd be cool to go and like some of these really wild and interesting types like Salvador Dali or like Picasso, Andy Warhol. Like, it'd be cool to just go and see them in their heyday. I think that'd be cool. Or like the Impressionist people like Monet. What do you think Monet was like? He just likes hanging out in gardens. Who can blame him? Yeah, that's what he likes. What was the best memory from growing up in the 90s? Oh my god. The best memory growing up in the 90s. I mean, I was pretty young. I will say that. So, I mean, I don't really... Gosh. It really, you're challenging me with this one. I was so young. Oh, here's one that's really nostalgic, and I wouldn't say it's like my best memory, but this is what comes to mind. We gotta roll with what pops into my head, and it's very like consumerist, so bear with me here. But every year, approaching Christmas, Sears would release this thing called the Wish Book, and there was no like online shopping. It was like, I think that was like early days, maybe, or maybe it didn't. I don't even remember if the internet even existed. Probably it didn't. I don't even know. I was so young, but this Sears catalog would come every year, and there was like a toy and video game section, and I would go absolutely hog wild, peeping all this stuff and like seeing what I could maybe ask for Christmas. And that's one memory that I have. The Wish Book, they called it. So consumers. Yeah, Cozy, do you remember that? Maybe that's just a Canadian thing, or maybe it's like North American. I don't know. But yeah. Yes, circling things for Santa. And you know what? Like, so many of my favorite childhood memories are around Christmas time. It was just this like warm. You ever see those like nostalgic videos on TikTok or Instagram Reels, and it's like this like cozy winter vibes with like, these soft Christmas lights and, Christmas music playing. Like, so many of my favorite childhood memories are around Christmas time. So I think that's why I'm such a crazy Christmas fanatic. But Isaiah, I'm with you. Essential for sure. Like, I remember getting moon boots for Christmas one year. There were these like, that would date me for sure. There were these like platform boots boots with like dense elastic bands on them, and you could jump a little higher. Oh my god. Yeah, watching TV without scrolling, you had to watch commercials, you guys. You couldn't skip the ads. You had to watch them. And like, I used to love shows like Hey Arnold, amazing. Oh, Halloween, amazing. We used to obviously go trick-or-treating, duh. But there was this, like, so in Canada, there was this like Toronto-based channel called YTV that had stuff like spooky shows for kids, and it was like Goosebumps and like Are You Afraid of the Dark and like freaky stories and stuff like that. And I used to love watching all these Halloween specials. Is Run Rudolph the best Christmas song, or is there something that tops it in your opinion? Wow. That's a really good question. My favorite Christmas song. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's so tough because each song to me is like a different vibe. There's like so many vibes at Christmas. There's like the playful kind of jingle bells kind of vibe. Then there's that like dimly lit soft lighting, you know, just gazing at the Christmas tree, silent night kind of vibes. You know, I don't know. It's so hard to pick one. It's so hard to pick one. I don't know. And then my mom is no longer with us. She passed away, and her biggest favorite thing was John Denver's Christmas album, and he's got a few, I guess, but so there's like one album in particular with a few songs on it that are like really nostalgic and kind of bring me back to those 90s Christmases. Oh yeah, Carol of the Bells. It does slap. Yeah. That's pretty funny. You weren't allowed to watch Goosebumps because you were a wimp. Was Goosebumps scary? Really? I thought it was. I didn't. This is where I got my Goosebumps. Was like my horror birthplace because I love that genre. It is literally my favorite genre. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's where it all began in the scary movie days. Because I used to binge the Goosebumps books. Like, remember pulling up to like a Scholastic's book fair. Unbelievable. There was nothing like that. Imagine you had like $20 and you pull up to the Scholastic's book fair. Did you guys ever have that? It was this like traveling fair that would come to your school, and they would have like, they would set up like in the library or something, and they'd have like a ton of books that you could buy. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it was like the best thing ever. But I used to read a lot when I was a kid. Oh, Isaiah, I do love Stephen King. Absolutely, my favorite Stephen King. I mean, it's got to be The Shining. It's got to be The Shining. It's like perfect. It's so good. It's got to be The Shining. But they're all so good and so classic. Like Tommy Knockers was great. Cujo, Thinner. Those are so good. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm really locking in on The Shining. I think I have to. Misery was really good. Oh, Salem's Lot was so good. That's got to be up there too. Yeah, It. That was so good. The Stand is also very, very good. Scholastic's Book Fair is peak 90s, early 2000s childhood. Yeah, 100%. However much. I love that. The smell of the books. Like, the smell of the books was so nostalgic. Oh, yeah, watching the movie before Shining. I mean, the movie is great as well. There was also like a made-for-TV remake of the movie that was done in 2 parts in the 90s. I've never been able to find it, but it was really good as well. One thing that I really love about Stephen King is that he's got this like New England universe, and there's so many like supernatural things and like, you know, real world things that are kind of woven into all the stories. Like this idea of people who have the shining, like the shine, this ability seems to be kind of woven in, and a lot of the local geographies like Salem's Lot and Derry and all these little spots are kind of woven in. So the more Stephen King you read, the more you see that it seems to all be happening in the same like little microcosm. Oh, Devin, favorite Christmas movie? Dude, that is so tough. Again, it's kind of like the music piece. It's like each one has its own vibe to it. So like, if I'm like ready to have some fun, Home Alone, it's a classic. You cannot beat it. It's so good. Home Alone is so good. But like, you know, cozy, classic vibes. White Christmas, so good. Bing Crosby, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So good. But there are so many good Christmas movies. There's so many underrated Christmas movies as well. And I've even been here for like, I like the Netflix rom-com, like, Christmas era that we're in. I just like anything, like, that has a Christmas vibe to it. I'm not crazy. I like it. Elf, so good. Classic. Christmas Vacation. Yeah, I'm not sick or anything. I love it. So good. Devin, what is your favorite Christmas movie? That's what I want to know. You know what, Isaiah? I have not read The Dark Tower. That's a series of books, right? I think I've put that off for too long. Maybe I need to dig into that. I've got like a stack of books that I'm working my way through right now, so. Yo, Isaiah, Love Actually is a goated Christmas movie, for sure. There's no question about it. What is your, Isaiah, I'll ask you a question from Love Actually. What is your favorite, like, character plot in that? You know, there's like these different characters telling their own like individual story, and they kind of come together. I think mine is like the Colin Firth story. The writer, love it. He ends up alone for Christmas or ahead of Christmas because he finds that his wife was cheating on him with his brother, and he's writing his book. And so he goes to, where does he go? France, I think. I don't know where. To a cottage to work on his book. And then his housekeeper is this Portuguese woman, and he ends up falling in love with her. And then the guy learns Portuguese and then goes to Portugal and proposes to her. Boom. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Devin, you can't go wrong, my dude. Christmas Vacation. It's so good. Oh, the Jim Carrey Grinch is so good. How could I have forgotten? No one else could play the Grinch. No one else could play the Grinch. I feel like I'm getting so caught up in the conversation that I'm neglecting the ASMR triggers, but I've moved through most of the ones that I have here. I've got this little mini pie tin thing. Let's see if it makes any good sounds. Yeah, Christmas Vacation is so good. Yeah. Yeah, That's a great one. Sam and the relationship with his dad. Absolutely. And I think it's his stepdad, actually. That's a very good storyline, for sure. They have a great relationship. Also, how was he able to, like, go through security in that airport and get all the way to the gate? Like, back in the day, things were very different than they are now. Someone running through an airport right now, not ideal. Not ideal. You don't love to see it. Thank you so much, Cozy. Have an amazing day. I hope it's great. Hopefully, stress-free. Thanks for being here. Isaiah, thank you so much for all these great questions, by the way. This is really, you've been very thought-provoking. It's really dusting the cobwebs off my brain in this early morning hour. It's almost 8 a.m. That's exactly right, Isaiah. Totally. I mean, I've heard of people who have like a long layover in an airport and then they actually like go for a run, like a jog through the airport, which I think is pretty cool. I've never done that. We've reached the 2-hour mark. Yeah, Isaiah, I'm grateful for you, dude. I'm glad you're here. You've really added a lot, and you've added a lot to my day, too. I'm going to be thinking about this afterwards, too. Especially about whether I'd go forwards or backwards in time. There's a lot to think about there. Very fun. But I think I will start to wind down the stream. Wind down the stream. I've got a few things to do today, but I feel like I've gotten off on the right foot for today. Spending time with you guys. This has been unbelievable. It's been such a fun time. And a great way to start the day. Oh, Isaiah. Love Tenet. Love that movie. I have one for you, and maybe you've already seen it. There is an indie film about time travel. It's called Primer. I won't tell you much, but it's some engineers that build this device, and then they end up causing all kinds of issues. It is very dark and serious, but it is a really good time travel movie. It's probably my favorite. It's called Primer. Why even? Welcome. I'm doing very well. Thank you for being here. I am winding down the stream now, getting ready to hop off. It's been really fun. So yeah, Isaiah, check out Primer. Yeah, it's a good one. I think you'll like it. It's a bit dark, but it's a good time travel movie. this has been a fun and relaxing time for you. It certainly has been for me. I feel like it's such a great way to start the day, and I'm just so grateful for the community here and for being able to hang out with you guys. This is such a fun thing, and I hope, there's so many of you out there probably that are, at the end of your day or in the middle of your day because of time zones. Crazy thing. But I hope no matter where you are that you feel good, you feel relaxed, you feel calm, you feel happy. That's what I would wish for you. So make sure you take good care of yourself, drink lots of water, get enough sleep, eat something good, spend some time with people you care about, and do something just for you, because you should. We're always moving towards being better and being balanced, and it takes constant reflection and effort. But what else are we here for, right? Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it there for today. I could just keep droning on to infinity, but we gotta move on with the day. So thank you all so much for being here, and yeah, until next time, I'll be posting soon about